Is the middleweight division right now screwed because of Khamzat Chimaev? In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the higher ranked fighters that have a possibility of fighting Khamzat Chimaev soon and how I think that damn near the whole weight class is screwed. Okay, I think that a lot of these guys could give Khamzat a tough matchup in certain aspects of the fight, but at the end of the day, they're going to lose, okay? That's just straight facts, okay? But let's get right into the video, starting off with the first guy that has a little bit of beef with Khamzat Chimaev, Paulo Costa. He is ranked, I think, number 11 in the middleweight division. I don't know. He's pretty low in the top 15, but he does have a possibility to fight Khamzat because he hates him and he's making drama out of it. But Paulo Costa is actually very underrated recently. He went through this little slump where he was doing pretty bad. He lost to Sean Strickland, which in a rematch, I think he fucking whooped Sean Strickland. But anyway, he did recently beat Roman Kopylov, and that was a freaking impressive win. He looked so sharp. He looked like the old Paulo Costa that fought like Izzy, Yoel Romero, those kind of guys. He looked fucking tough, okay? But unfortunately, Paulo Costa would get mauled by Khamzat Chimaev. That's just really sad because before I get more deep into this video, every single one of these guys that I name would absolutely kill. Okay, one guy off the top of my head wouldn't, but the other guys would kill Khamzat Chimaev on the feet. And that's just facts. But Khamzat's grappling is just so dominant that they're not going to be able to do nothing. But back to Paulo Costa. Paulo Costa would absolutely kill Khamzat, just strict kickboxing. He would probably knock him out. Paulo Costa has a heavy right hand. His kicks are really, really agile for his size. He's just really physically strong. But unfortunately, his grappling and wrestling is decent, but compared to Khamzat Chimaev, it's awful. Khamzat Chimaev would just wrestle fuck him, okay? He would do the exact same thing to Costa and actually worse that he did at DDP. He would just die for his legs. He wouldn't want to strike with Costa whatsoever. Unless he wants to be stupid and lose, he maybe try to strike with him. But he would go for that takedown right away, take Costa down, and he would probably maul him. Well, not probably. He would maul Paulo Costa. And it'd be a very unfair fight, unfortunately. Even if Costa sharpened his grappling, he still would lose. The unfortunate thing is, though, is Khamzat never wants to strike with guys. He needs to grapple. That's the thing. If we went back to DDP's fight, okay, in that fight, when they stood up for a couple seconds, DDP quite literally almost dropped Khamzat, okay, within those like 10 seconds, and he was exhausted. And those were sloppy punches, and he almost dropped Khamzat. Just saying, if Paulo Costa hit Khamzat, good night. He'd be out. And most of these guys would sleep Khamzat Chimaev. So on the feet, he's really screwed, but his grappling is too strong, and he is so repetitive. Will keep on shooting, keep on shooting, keep on shooting. Just constantly. If he misses, he keeps on going until he gets it. So if he wants to win, he will win. Okay, if he wants to be arrogant and kind of be like, okay, I want to prove to myself I can strike with these guys, he'll lose. But if he just goes in there with the same game plan as always, nobody can stop it. They all know his game plan. He'll go in there and I'll wrestle Paulo Costa and possibly submit him, okay? So that's it for Paulo Costa. Unfortunately, I love Paulo Costa, and I think that it's really unfortunate with the situation they're all in right now, okay? But moving on to the next fighter, Israel Adesanya. I'm not going to go too deep into this fight. Israel Adesanya is getting fucked by Khamzat Chimaev, okay? Israel Adesanya would kill Chimaev on the feet. Even washed Adesanya right now would kill Chimaev on the feet. Now, old Adesanya would absolutely murder, like, KO Chimaev on the feet. But right now, he would get fucked, okay? Dricus literally did the sloppiest takedown I've ever seen. A little 4-year-old could do that on Izzy and grabbed the neck, choked him out in like 5 seconds. That was the sloppiest shit I've ever seen. What would Khamzat do to Izzy? Khamzat would finish Izzy in a minute. Like, it'd be fast. This would probably be the worst fight of all these guys. Israel Adesanya would go out there, be very hesitant. I don't think he'd throw a lot because he's too worried about that takedown threat. He would throw some sloppy-ass shots, get taken down, get submitted right away. It would be fast. And on the feet, if Khamzat would want to try, he wouldn't be able to do that good against Izzy. Izzy's striking is too elite for him. But like I said, the grappling's too strong, especially because Izzy used to have good takedown defense, but even his old takedown defense wouldn't be able to hold up against Khamzat's grappling. It's too pressure heavy, and he's just too repetitive with what he does. Like, he constantly keeps going for that takedown, and he gets it eventually. If he can get a takedown on Dricus as easy as he did, he can get it on Izzy very, very fucking easily. And he would absolutely kill Izzy, and he would submit him very, very fast. I would guess first round easily, first minute to 2 minutes, very fast. Not going to go any deeper into Israel Adesanya. I don't want to diss on my boy Izzy any longer because I like Israel Adesanya, but he would get Russell fucked exactly like Paulo Costa would. So that's it for him. And then moving on to Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland is a fucking bitch, okay? I cannot stand this racist, guys. He is such a bitch. And after Chimaev beat Dricus du Plessis, of course, Sean, goes on Twitter and says, oh, I forgot the exact wording, but he was like, I beat this whore, or something like that. Sorry for my language. But he was saying he whooped on him in practice. He literally beat the fuck out of him in practice, supposedly. Strickland just needs to shut the fuck up. Dude, this guy would get mauled against Khamzat Chimaev. He would get killed. Okay, Dricus got killed against Khamzat. What the hell would happen to Sean Strickland? Sean Strickland literally said that he would compete and he has better wrestling than Khamzat Chimaev. This guy has to be absolutely delusional. He has to be delusional to say this. Like, he's stupid. He would get fucked by Khamzat Chimaev badly, okay? Sean Strickland on the feet is a sloppy ass boxer, kickboxer. Khamzat could compete with Sean Strickland on the feet. There are ways that Strickland could beat him, but I think this would be a little closer. But it'd be very interesting to see how this fight would go and how fast Khamzat would finish Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland is an arrogant SOB. He couldn't even beat Dricus du Plessis. So he wouldn't beat Khamzat Chimaev. Come on now. Khamzat is killing this guy on the ground. It is sad how unfair this fight would be. Sean Strickland goes in there with an arrogant mentality, gets whooped. I'd be so fucking excited to see that happen. See that guy get his ass kicked because he needs his mouth shut ASAP. I'm not going to go too far into that because Sean Strickland, all he has is that, that jab and that teep, bro. That lazy-ass teep. Khamzat's grabbing that shit and he's taking it down ASAP. And who knows, maybe it'd end up being like DDP where he can't submit Strickland. Strickland has decent submission defense, but he would definitely just maul him all 5 rounds, okay? But then moving on to the next fight, RDR. Now, and by the way, I'm not naming anybody that he's fought before, so I'm not going to throw Whitaker or DDP in here because we saw what happened with those guys. But back to RDR. RDR has probably the most awkward type of fighting style in the whole UFC right now. That I can think of off the top of my head. He's very awkward. He did do really good against Whitaker. Whitaker, you can go either way in that fight. I feel like Whitaker did really good too. Whitaker had more significant shots. I would have gave the fight to Whitaker because more significant shots, I think, should win the fight, and he did more during it. But anyway, RDR. Very good jiu-jitsu, very good from his back, very good on the ground with just his jiu-jitsu. His striking is very, very questionable. It's not that good. I think, honestly, this is the guy that I said Khamzat might be on the feet. I think that Khamzat definitely could be RDR on the feet. I think this fight would mainly be a clinch game and against the cage and just grappling. Khamzat would be able to out-strengthen RDR. RDR is pretty huge for the middleweight division, so never know how that would go. But Khamzat is insanely strong, so I don't know. But I see Khamzat going for that takedown, getting RDR down. RDR does not have that good of takedown defense just because he's not really that much of a sprawler. He's not that good, but when he gets on his back, he is really strong. So Khamzat definitely would need to be careful with RDR throwing up submissions because that's where there could be problems. But Khamzat, honestly, would maul RDR. Now, hear me out. DDP did get Khamzat in some awkward positions where he almost submitted him. So there could be problems there where maybe Khamzat needs to be careful with being on top of him. And I think if Khamzat changes his game plan a little bit and not just lays on him, beats the shit out of him, ground and pound, bro. Like, he just did the crucifix and his elbowing. Do more of that shit, but also just punch more. Like, he didn't punch at all on DDP. He was just laying on him. That was so annoying. He needs to do more punching. And that's where RDR would be fucked because if he just laid on him, that's more chance for RDR to throw up a submission and get the submission. Because DDP almost caught Khamzat in the submission, so who knows what RDR would do. But anyway, Khamzat would beat RDR on the feet, in my opinion. RDR does have good knees. He did knock Bo Nickel out. But the thing I got to say is RDR has not fought that great a competition as Khamzat, okay? Now, hear me out. I know you're going to say he did beat Whitaker, okay? But look what Khamzat did to Whitaker, okay? Khamzat submitted Whitaker in 1 round, very fast. RDR went all 5 rounds. It could have went either way. And I know styles make fights, but Khamzat would kill RDR, guys. On the ground especially, he would be on him, beating the shit out of him. Maybe he could submit him. I don't really see that happening. I think it would go all 5 rounds, kind of like DDP's fight went. He would just beat the piss out of RDR. I don't want to see this fight happening because really RDR is not to the level of Khamzat Chimaev. He needs to fight a lot harder guys first. Maybe, he's fighting Anthony Hernandez. But other than that, he should not be fighting Khamzat very soon because he's going to get fucked really badly. And it's going to be sad to see because Khamzat is on a streak right now and I can't see him losing anytime soon. Okay, but that's it for RDR. RDR would get fucked just like everybody else. Then moving on to the fight that would be the hardest for Khamzat Chimaev right now, and that is Anthony Hernandez, Fluffy Hernandez. This guy would give Khamzat Chimaev the hardest fight right now. This guy's one of my favorite fighters currently. I love his brawling style. He likes to go in there and fucking fight. Now, hear me out. Anthony Hernandez has really, really good wrestling. So I think if anything, he'd be the guy to save us. Okay? He'd be the guy to save us out of any of these people. Okay? I'm not adding Kyle Barala on here just before, because I'm thinking about that. I'm not adding him on here because he has some more work to do with the middleweight division, and I wouldn't consider him up here with these guys currently. Okay? But back to Anthony Hernandez. Hernandez, better striking. He'd fuck Khamzat in the striking. The issue with that, though, is Khamzat won't strike then. He knows to not strike. He's not that stupid. He shoots for that fast-ass takedown, and he always gets it. No matter how good your takedown defense is, he always seems to get it. I don't understand. Anthony Hernandez has very, very good and strong takedown defense, and he has really good offensive wrestling. And his jiu-jitsu is really strong, too. We've seen him submit people time and time again. But Khamzat is just too good on the ground. And it's really stressful, to be honest, because I don't want Khamzat to keep winning, if I'm being real. I want Hernandez to win. I want Hernandez to succeed in this division. I want Kyle Barala to succeed in this division. I want other guys. Khamzat's just going to wrestle, and beat the fuck out of everybody. And that's what he's been doing, and he's not changing it. Everybody knows his game plan, and he keeps doing that. And no one can stop it. And Anthony Hernandez is not going to be able to stop it. Now, maybe if Khamzat takes a lazy takedown, maybe Hernandez could defend it later on in the fight. But in the beginning, no matter how good Anthony's takedown defense is, because it is very good, he's not doing anything. He's gonna kill Anthony Hernandez. And if they stayed on the feet, Hernandez would knock Khamzat the fuck out. He doesn't even try to strike a little bit. He just goes to that takedown right away. He didn't even last 10 seconds against DDP before he went for that takedown. Anthony. And it works for him. Props to him that he has that good of grappling. But Anthony, if you would stay on the feet with him and be able to stop that takedown, he would knock him out. And I know that. And that's the stressful part because no one can compete with him on the ground to get back up into the feet and at least stay on the feet for a little bit to knock him out. Not even DDP could. So Anthony Hernandez would give him the best fight, especially because he does have very good takedown defense, really good striking, very good offensive wrestling. So maybe he could give it back because he's better wrestling than DDP, in my opinion. He would do better on the ground as DDP did. But Hernandez hasn't fought that hard of competition again. So we'd have to see him against, for example, RDR. I'm really excited to see that fight, to see how he does against harder competition. I don't know how he'd do against guys like Khamzat, but I don't think he's ready for that. I don't think he is. I think he's the most ready out of anybody, but I don't think he's even ready for that, to be honest. I think Khamzat has fought too hard of guys, too many good wrestlers. He beat Kamaru Usman. Usman's one of the best wrestlers ever, okay? I know Usman held his own, but Anthony isn't as close of a good wrestler that Usman is. And, look how DDP got screwed. So Hernandez wouldn't be different. He would get taken down and controlled the whole fight, unfortunately. Hopefully he could get back to the feet and knock him out. Can't see that happening because Khamzat's too heavy with his top control, guys, and his back control. And it'd be unfortunate. It'd be like every other fight that he's been through, okay? Really sad. But moving on to the last guy that many people are saying that is our last hope. Nassourdine Imavov. Nassourdine Imavov is not beating Khamzat Chimaev, okay? He's not. Now, this dude has very, very, very good takedown defense, very sharp takedown defense, and I'm very impressed by his boxing, too. His boxing is really good. The best striker in the middleweight division, hands down. I got to give it to him. Or Anthony Hernandez is one or the other. They're both very, very good strikers. I want to see that fight. That's the fight I really want to see, Hernandez versus Imavov. But they both have very good striking. I like Hernandez striking better because it's more aggressive, but Imavov definitely holds his own in the striking. He definitely would knock out Khamzat Chimaev if they fall on the feet. half of these guys would knock him out on the feet. But he won't be there for him to knock him out. Now, Imavov versus Kyle Barallo taught me a lot about Imavov. I was like, damn, Imavov's good, but he didn't impress me. He didn't impress me the way that everyone was making him sound, and the way that I thought he was good. You know what I mean? He has submitted people in the past, and he has showcased that he has good takedown defense, but he's never been taken down or haven't had a guy try to attempt to take him down like Khamzat Chimaev. And that's where he's going to be done. On the feet, he would fuck Khamzat Chimaev. I think that possibly this would be the hardest guy for Chimaev to take down, because he has very good takedown defense. Very, very good. And I think this would be the hardest guy for him to take down. But he finds a way. Look at DDP. He kept going. He misses, gets back up, goes right away again. He keeps going, guys. And that's where it's really concerning, is what would Imavov do? What would he really do? Nothing. He's not doing anything. He might defend the first couple ones, but he's going to get tired, guys. Guys get tired, and then he keeps going. He'll take him down. It'll be no different than any other fighter in the division. Unfortunately, all these fighters are really tough. All of them are really good fighters. But no one in the division right now can stop him and stop his grappling. I'm not going to go any further with Imavov, because he would fuck him on the feet, like I said, but he couldn't stop that takedown. Maybe a couple times, but once he defends that a couple times, he'll keep going, take him down, and finish him, guys. Or go the full way. You never know. But it's not that Khamzat's unbeatable. It's that we haven't found the right guy currently that can beat him. Because there is a guy that will be eventually able to defend his takedowns and knock Khamzat Chimaev out, because his striking is not that good, below average. But unfortunately, right now, there's just no one here to do that. And Hernandez and Imavov definitely are the best options to fight him. But even then, Imavov, solid striking, not that good of grappling. Good takedown defense, but he'll get him eventually. Same with Fluffy. And that's just really how it's going to go. And that's why Khamzat's not losing. That's what this video is about, guys. Khamzat Chimaev is not going to lose anytime soon. I think a lot of these guys will give him a really, really good fight. But, unfortunately, they're not going to win. They're not going to win. It's unfortunate, because Hernandez is not winning Imavov, RDR, Sean Strickland, Izzy, or Paulo Costa. None of you guys are going to beat Khamzat Chimaev, because his grappling is too strong, too heavy, too explosive, and too tiring to defend constantly the way he keeps going. So all you are beasts, but unfortunately this isn't your time, because Khamzat Chimaev is in your weight class, okay? So it's unfortunate, because Khamzat's not losing that belt anytime soon, okay? But that's it for this video, guys. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Comment down below, who do you guys think would give Khamzat Chimaev the best fight in the middleweight division currently? And if you guys agree with me, do you guys think that no one can beat him, or do you guys think that someone could beat him? And let me know who that person would be. It's just really sad, because I want to see a new champion already, but unfortunately, it ain't going to happen. All these guys are so fucking tough, but the grappling is just not comparable to Khamzat Chimaev, so that's really unfortunate. But like I said, thank you guys for watching. Let's hope the best for these guys. Pray that someone can do something, you know what I mean? But have a blessed rest of your guys' night.